Our first point to tackle is the venue. Liberty Arena, the current host of Flames basketball, is much too small to host any weekend of March Madness, seating just 4,000. However, the Vine Center, although it hasn't been used for basketball since 2019, would meet the occupancy requirements. At 9,200 seats, the Vine Center slots in towards the smaller side of venues that have been host sites of tournament games in the past, but not out of place. Including additional seating for the basketball configuration, seating would be right around 10,000 fans, which is the NCAA's current requirement for first weekend venues. It would be the fourth location in Virginia to host tournament games, and the first since 1973, when William & Mary hosted the first weekend. Beyond seating, it is important for host sites to include a few other amenities. Concessions, restrooms, media space, and other fan accommodations are going to be assessed. Because the Vine Center still has the concession stands from when basketball was in-house, those won't be of any concern. Same with the restrooms, which still have plenty of capacity to serve 10,000 basketball fans. Media space may be tricky, as the current media room is set in Liberty Arena and not meant for as many media members as the tournament would attract. However, because of the space available, a designated media room may get replaced by the Flames Club Suite at the arena, or even a spot in one of the practice gyms. Finally, fan accommodations, like merchandise tables or fan experience areas, could be set up in Liberty Arena or outside on the academic lawn, weather permitting. Plenty of other considerations are made that go well beyond just the arena, though, and to look deeper into one of those, I'll send it over to Garrett.
Hotels and lodging are a main factor in hosting an event like the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. The city of Lynchburg has a number of hotels, especially ones that are located near the facilities on campus. Now, whether they're able to comply with all these measures is another question. To host NCAA tournament March Madness rounds, a city must meet very strict hotel requirements set by the NCAA. According to the official bid specifications, host cities need several full-service, high-quality hotels located close to the competition venue. For the first and second round, this means contracting around 10 full-service hotels, though up to 2 can be select-serviced if full-service options are limited. These hotels must offer meeting space, including at least one ballroom of 2,000 plus square feet, plus smaller breakout rooms and a lockable room for equipment. Hotels are expected to dedicate a significant block of rooms. Other hotel requirements, according to the NCAA, are at least 60% of the rooms in the team-designated hotels should be double rooms. There are also media, NCAA, and official-only hotels. The NCAA bid manual stipulates separate hotels for teams, officials, media, and NCAA personnel. Interestingly enough, hotels also must carry certain TV channels and guest rooms like CBS, TBS, TNT, and truTV so that teams and media can watch the tournament. If it is not a definite deal breaker if a city cannot meet these requirements, but it would certainly hurt its bid. As far as Lynchburg is concerned, I do not think they would accommodate all these exact measures, however, it would be close.
And speaking of accommodation, where would each of the 4 teams practice? Is there room for 4 teams to have separate practice spaces here on campus? Or will the teams also have to rotate out to a local high school? Luckily, there is plenty of space in the city of Lynchburg, both here on campus and outside, to have plenty of space for 4 teams to practice. Typically, an NCAA host site will have between 4 and 6 spaces that are open for practices. Different coaching staffs will want different locations during tournament week, away from the campus, so there aren't any wandering eyes on their team's preparation. Here in Lynchburg, there are a number of options. On campus, Liberty Arena and the 2 practice gyms downstairs would be prime locations, as well as the Vine Center itself, although it is connected almost directly to the practice courts, so those coaches who are avoiding wandering eyes might choose something else. Fortunately for them, off campus, Liberty Christian Academy, the high school attached to Thomas Road Baptist Church, has a full gym and locker room space. The University of Lynchburg and Randolph College, both 6 miles or less from campus, also both have full gyms and, with a little cooperation from them, would host perfect practice sites for teams and coaches to have peace of mind.
Hosting the first weekend of March Madness would provide the city of Lynchburg with a large economic boom. With the number of people traveling to Lynchburg for this type of large-scale event, the city of Lynchburg will generate a large amount of revenue from many different sources, including lodging, transportation, food and beverage, retail, and even recreational activities. This level of economic activity will also greatly benefit local businesses and vendors in the Lynchburg area. Recent host cities such as Kansas City in 2023 and Denver earlier this year reported estimated economic growth of 14.5 million and 23 million respectively. DJ Summers, the Director of Communications and Research Operations of the Common Sense Institute, even stated that the NCAA March Madness tournament is a significant driver of economic activity for any city fortunate enough to host the event.
The transportation side of things is also important when hosting an event like the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. The city of Lynchburg has a regional airport along with public transportation services. There are some requirements for airports, such as they consider sites with the highest frequency of daily arrivals and departures, so having a well-connected airport is a plus. For team travel, if a school is eligible to fly, there are hub provisions. According to the NCAA travel policies, when there's a major airport within 200 miles of the competition site, teams may be required to fly into that airport and then use ground transport. With this being said, Lynchburg Airport might not qualify, but I do believe that the airports in the surrounding areas such as Roanoke, Raleigh, and Durham, and other airports would be approved. In addition to this, to host March Madness, the city must support a detailed NCAA transportation plan. According to the NCAA's bid specifications, local ground transport for competing teams is a shared responsibility. The host city works with the teams to make sure enough vehicles are available. For team travel to and from tournament sites, charter buses have arranged through the NCAA's official ground transportation provider, and the NCAA covers those costs directly. If a school flies, airport transfers must also be arranged. The NCAA picks up the tab for buses on arrival and departure days when the airport is beyond 25 miles. Finally, hosts must also provide courtesy vehicles, usually vans, for officials, NCAA staff, and other key personnel. Plus, free parking for the shuttles at both hotels and game venues. Although this is a lot, I do think that Liberty University in the city of Lynchburg could definitely accommodate these needs.
Hosting the first weekend of March Madness would also have a positive effect socially on the Lynchburg community. Hosting an event of this large magnitude would bring the people of Lynchburg together, strengthening the bond in the community. The anticipation and excitement of a unique experience and national recognition would attract large crowds of spectators, benefiting the city's image and branding. Having the event at Liberty University specifically would also attract attention to the school, potentially increasing next year's application rate and even the recruiting pool for athletics. Since Liberty University is such a large part of the Lynchburg community, this would also have a positive social impact as it would grow the city's community even larger. The extent of the positive social impact would be even greater if Liberty University's team itself were to participate in and perform well during the tournament. Examples of this occurring in the past include Gonzaga University in 1998, Butler University in 2010, and Florida Gulf Coast University in 2013. Each of these schools saw great increases in applications in the following years with 12%, 40%, and 40% increases in application rate respectively.